All right, folks, so this is going to be how you're going to be assessed for your persuasive speeches. Very similar to your informative speeches, in that you're going to do it in two parts. The first part is providing me the link so that I can grade it. The second part is to provide your classmates the link so that they can access your video and you can receive feedback from them and give them feedback. But let's go ahead and get started with how are you going to earn points for this speech. The speech itself is worth 15 points. You need to find a way. I use Screencast-O-Matic. You need to find a way to use your PowerPoint and show your face on the screen at the same time. Again, Screencast-O-Matic is really great, but you can also do that just by inserting video into each slide of your PowerPoint. Either way is fine, but I do find that Screencast-O-Matic is very, very easy to use. So let's go ahead and get started on how to earn points. The first area where you're going to earn points is from your visual aid. So with your visual aid, I'm looking for your pictures, your graphs, everything to be accessible. So anything that's not text, that's where I'm assessing right here. So the first area, I want your pictures to only be one of them. I want on each slide. If it's a graph, you need to take time to explain it. That's part of integration as well. They need to be accessible. They need to follow all of the other rules that are described in that video on how to format your visual aids. If you don't follow those rules, you'll earn 0 points. Same for the text. You need to follow the 6x6 rule and all of the other rules regarding text included in the visual aids video. Again, worth 1 point. If you don't follow the rules, you'll earn 0. Overall integration of the visual aid, you'll earn 1 point if you follow all of the rules of body placement and the other rules in the video that aren't referencing like the amount of text, the amount of pictures, what those pictures should be, that kind of thing. Some things may count against you on both text and overall integration. For example, if your text comes flying in, or if you have slide transitions where text is coming in on the slide, that could count against both. Remember, keep it simple. Next area that you're going to be assessed on is delivery. Because I'm asking you to work against something that you may have formed a habit on over your entire life, I'm not going to make this count as much as the visual aids, but it still is really important. There needs to be a variety in your vocal quality, meaning qualities, not the actual quality of your voice. Meaning there needs to be variety in your tone, in your speed, in your volume, in the sound of your voice. And as long as it's not distracting and that it's natural, then you'll earn 0.5 points. If there's no vocal variety or if it seems overly rehearsed and unnatural, you'll earn 0 points. You should have gestures, which means that you need to show more of your body than just your face and your shoulders. If your gestures are present and effective and not distracting, you'll earn 0.5 points. If they are distracting or they are absent, you'll earn 0 points. Delivery and expressiveness. I'm looking for some facial expressions. So in other words, facial gestures. I want to see facial expressions. I want to see you smiling. I want to see you serious. I want to see your eyebrows move. That's part of demonstrating your passion to your audience. So that'll be worth 0.5 points. Your speech should be 6 to 8 minutes in length. If you're within that time frame, you'll earn 1 point. If you are 30 seconds or less over or under the time requirement, you'll earn 0.5 points. And if you are more than 30 seconds over or under the time requirements, you will earn 0.0 points. You are allowed one side of one 4x6 index card or less. You need to show it on camera, either at the beginning or at the end of your speech. You can even show it during your speech, that's fine too. If you do that, you will earn 1 point. If you use more than one side of one index card, you'll earn 0 points. Now we're moving on to the actual structure of your speech. Your attention getter, same as persuasive speech, 0.5 points if you are effective and if it's in the correct order. No points if it's not. Again, since you've already been assessed on your ability to do this, I'm not giving partial credit on any of the structure, any parts of the structure of your introduction and conclusion, because they're not really different from your informative speeches. And therefore, I'm also not going to spend a lot of your time right now going over those again. Let's go ahead and move on to transition statements. That's nothing new. It's worth 1.5 points again. Let's talk about your first main point. Your first main point needs to be your need problem step. So all parts that are described on the video of how to do Monroe's motivated sequence, how to outline your persuasive speech, all parts of that should be present, 1 point, and you need to cite at least one source. This past semester, this is the way that most people lost points on this part, is they forgot to cite a source. That's true for for the need problem step, the satisfaction solution step, and the visualization step. They need to come in the correct order. All parts need to be present, and you need to cite one source for each of those main points. Let's go ahead and go on to the conclusion. I'm speeding right through this for you so that I'm not wasting a lot of your time. You need to review the importance. This is a little bit different than your conclusion for your informative speech. You should know this already, but that's okay if you don't. You need to review why it's important, going back to your need problem step, referring back to what you talked about there. Your call to action should be very, very short. It should be one clear, short sentence on what you're asking your audience to do. And then finally, you have your clincher. Drop that mic, walk away. Pretty straightforward. As you have questions, feel free to ask.